the state, Agility FM, Gambari, Ogumosho, on the 92.1 FM dial. No one beats our reach all over this great state. We are there. Beyond the state, we are there, and beyond the shores of Nigeria. Just latch on via the social media platform, Facebook, precisely at BCOS, and you are on to conversation. Once again, wherever you are listening across the world, you are welcome. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo. I compete with Tola Teriba on conversation this morning. Conversation, and yes, he has said it all. No one beats the rich. Conversation is the program. Straight to stories, making the rounds, making headlines across the country and beyond the shores of the country.
All right. Banner headline before me, talking politics here, and APC is beating its chest. Making a very big assertion here. After Anambra, we won't lose any governorship election again. APC vows, says it is determined to take Osun. Wow. Targets Lagos, Edo, Ondo, Delta, and Nasarawa governors, Yahaya Bello, to get it done. Well, as long as they are relying on the power of the people, on the power of the votes of the people, and they are not relying on anything else, like when Mr. President made that worrisome statement in the UK in the run-up to the last presidential election, when he said that, I remember now, I'm quoting him, he said power is not served a la carte. He said you have to fight for it, grab it, and then run with it when you get it. Well, I guess that is not what they are talking about here. And I also want to believe that, power was not served to Mr. President a la carte, but I also want to believe that he also did not grab it and run with it, like he said. I want to believe that his election was fair and fair, as the courts decided. And it was the people of Nigeria that actually voted for him. So as long as they are relying on the willpower of the people, well, I will not be giving any interpretations, extra interpretations to what they are saying this morning. I also say that Nigerians will decide. The people of those states will decide whether or not the APC will lose another governorship election. So let it be about the people. Well, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC, Professor Nentawe Iwata, on Friday declared that the ruling party would henceforth not lose any state governorship election. He said the loss of Anambra to the All Progressive Grand Alliance candidate Charles Soludo would be the last. Osun State will be a shift from what we experienced in Anambra. That's the last election we will lose, the APC chairman vowed. And Yewada spoke as delegates from across the 3 senatorial districts and 30 local councils in Osun State prepared to affirm former managing director of the National Inland Waterways Authority, Mr. Bella Oyebamiji, as the APC consensus candidate ahead of next August off-season governorship election. Now, Yewada inaugurated a 6-man team with Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo as chairman. Other governors include Lucky Ayodatiwa, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Sheriff Francis Ogbolevori, and Malam Abdullahi Sule, governors of Ondo, Lagos, Delta, and Nasarawa states respectively. Former Governor, Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, I don't know why they had to pick him again, but with all the controversy hanging around this neck, these people have no respect for us. Former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello is also a member of the APC committee for the Osun State governorship primary. In Senate claims,
they always take us for granted, and that is the problem.
And in Senate claims, that would have been a blot on their white Babariga. The fact that the man is involved in that committee is enough for them to make them lose the election. Where people are discerning, in claims where people are more discerning. But then, this is Nigeria, and we know the way it goes. But like I said, let the people decide. In Osun State, they are up against very formidable candidates from the other political parties, especially the one who rules the state presently, and that has now gone from PDP to Accord Party, Governor Ademola Adeleke. And I guess, yes, maybe I want to assume they are seeing him as the most formidable, and there are other formidable candidates too that will be stepping out on the platform of other political parties. But then we'll see how it runs.
But let me ask you, are people as educated now, even the illiterates, educated illiterates, there are some we call them educated illiterates, that people illiterate, are they going to vote for parties or the personality?
Yes, I keep saying it, Bimbo, that I believe as we run towards 2027, and even these off-season elections, I believe that the politicians are in for a shock. They are acting, they are behaving as if it's business as usual. They jump boats and they think people will jump boat and mass with them. I think people are becoming more discerning, despite the weaponization of poverty, despite the dependency of the politicians on money, on vote buying to achieve their aims. I think people are becoming more and more discerning. People are getting angry and more angrier.
Yes.
They have to address that.
Yes.
Because now the APC can beat its chest because the major opposition, they think they've crippled the major opposition, and just 4 governors left on the major opposition, which is the PDP, and so they think this is enough. So they think all those governors have taken the people of their states with them to wherever they've gone. But my personal thoughts and opinion here, I think they will be in for a surprise in 2027, in that the battle will be very, very keen. Will be and they will be up against very formidable candidates. To answer your question, I think people are more discerning now, and they might want to vote for individuals other than the party. But like I said, time will tell, the future will tell, and ultimately the Nigerian people will decide.
And now it relates to Rivers State. Now, Siminalayi Fubara has been acting to the script. He has been a good boy all along. He has, gone to defected to the to the APC, People's All Progressives Congress,
as he was told to do.
As he was told to do. That was why I said good boy. Now he is saying he will deliver the state for President Bola Tinubu in 2027.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what is going.
He will deliver the state, or Wike he will deliver the state.
That is what I'm saying.
And he is just going to be
like a stooge.
Wike is going to Wike is going to eat the rice.
Yes.
He is going to be the spoon that
the spoon that we use to eat the rice.
That's what it means. And they are assured that as a spoon, it will not be dirty, it will not be poisoned. So that nothing will happen in the process of and we will make sure that the food is not too hot to gulp down. The food, which is Rivers State.
He's saying categorically, I will deliver Rivers for Tinubu, says Fubara.
What he's saying is that I will continue to be good, and there won't be a problem. I won't be a clog in the rules. Whatever they bring to Rivers, for the purpose of winning the next governorship elections, for the purpose of winning the next round of elections, I will not be a problem. I will not be a clog in the wheel. And see no evil, hear no evil. That's what he's trying to say here. And I will look away from whatever discrepancies or oddities that occur in the process of electioneering come the next elections in Rivers State. That's what he was exactly saying here. And do you blame the man, Bimbo? Like I said, he must come to equity, must come with clean hands. He didn't come with clean hands in the first place. He chose to dine with the devil, but he didn't have a long spoon. And too early, like I said, he asked for the hilt of the sword. Much too early, and then of course he was thoroughly bruised and battered. So if he's able to ensure that nothing goes wrong as far as the APC is concerned with the elections in Rivers State, and that state is indeed delivered to the APC, maybe he might also have something as a form of reward post office. I don't think the FCT masquerade will trust him enough for him to have a second shot at the governorship, but then maybe something, perhaps something more sumptuous, maybe awaiting him at the federal level.
Yes, that is quite possible. Let me just quickly go through this one. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara declared that he will deliver the state for President Bola Tinubu in 2027. Well, according to the scripts written, already prepared through the Grand Master Planner, Minister Nyesom Wike. The governor made the declaration at the Government House, Port Harcourt, on Friday after receiving his All Progressives Congress membership card from the state APC chairman, Tony Okocha. And he also said he will be responsible for the well-being and needs of the party in the state.
Good boy. There is no government in power. Tinubu is the person in power. He does not share it with anybody. That's coming from Dele Momodu.
Dele Momodu. Okay.
Tinubu. Well, I think he's right, Bimbo, because without the lion of Bodilon, I believe even the APC would have fallen like a pack of cards by now. They would have become too big for their own shoes, and they would have imploded, just like as happened to the PDP. But then, aside from having that very deep pocket, aside from state resources, aside from his own personal deep pocket, with which he has been able to use perfectly as a master strategist to run the affairs of the party. I also think the man, like I said, a master strategist, he knows politics, he knows the game. And give it to him, Bimbo, for one that has been able to convince virtually all the governors, and there are many of the major opposition party to come into his fold. Oh, Bimbo. Of course, like I said, like I always said before, I think the blame should go to those who are defecting and not to the one who is luring them.
Luring them, yes.
You have a choice. You can say no. It's like saying yes or no to the devil when it tells you, oh, you're about to commit sin, and you know that it is the devil talking to you. You have a choice. The Most High gave us a choice, either to say no to him or yes to him. So since they decided to say yes and they decided to move into his fold, the man should not be blamed for lure, but then he has the capacity to lure them, and give that to him. And then, but so, and that is why Mr. Momodu is saying this morning. It's actually a feature piece, a center spread.
Yes.
Where I say that Tinubu is the one in power, not the party.
Yes.
And does not share it with anybody.
Yes. That was why I said then that is the people going to vote for the personality or the party. Well, Tola, Chris Ngige is in deep shit. Sorry for using that language. Deep shit.
Another word for that is trouble.
Trouble, yes, deep trouble. He is to spend the weekend at Kuje prison. That is talking about the 2.2 billion naira fraud allegation.
It has taken this long to rein him in.
Now, two-term Minister of Labour and Employment and former Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Chris Ngige, is set to spend this weekend at the Kuje Correctional Center after being remanded yesterday by Justice Mariam Hassan of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, sitting in Gwarimpa, Abuja. And Chris Ngige, who served as minister under the administration of the late former President Muhammadu Buhari between 2015 and 2023, was remanded following his arraignment by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria, and he faces an 8-count charge bordering on alleged contract fraud and receiving gratifications. And in the charge, Ngige allegedly committed contract fraud between September 2015 and May 2023, contrary to and punishable under Section 19 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000, and he was accused of using his position as supervising minister of the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, one of those programs that were being organized, and that will not see the effect. Yes, to confer unfair advantage upon some companies, and to supply some training and consultancy equipment. And in another account, Ngige was alleged to have conferred unfair advantage on some companies too, through some fronts amounting to so many millions of naira.
Well, people, I'm sorry to be sounding like this morning. Well, so many of these things listed against Dr. Chris Ngige, but I'm asking the question, and I'm saying I'm sorry I'm sounding like this morning because I've looked through the list of his sins, and these things are things that have become new normal in Nigeria. Things that politicians do, elected officers while in office, and everybody sees it as normal. Everybody looks away. So I'm wondering. So that gives rise to any time a particular officer is now pinpointed for investigation, and then they find they beam the light on his rump, and they find some filth. This gives rise to speculations that it could be a witch hunt. But I always dismiss the theory of witch hunt because, okay, even if it's a witch hunt, if they have evidence against the particular person that is being witch hunted, and that's the question I always ask when people draw this argument that, okay, did the person commit those offenses or not? Let the courts determine, and if the prosecuting agencies have their facts, so let them who was or defend himself. But I'm not saying this morning because I'm beginning to think that aside from what Dr. Ngige did or did not do, I'm beginning to think maybe like I always say, maybe he has ruffled some privileged feathers, maybe he has stepped on the wrong toes, especially as we move towards 2027. Maybe there's the need to actually put him away for some time. They won't put him away permanently, and they will just cripple him politically. You know the way it goes. Hardly anyone actually it goes to, out of these big names, hardly anyone goes to jail in the actual sense. Those that go to just spend a few months, maybe a year or thereabouts, and then they are granted presidential pardon. One way or the other, they are. So for Dr. Ngige, well, these are difficult times for the former Minister of Labour. And like someone, everybody wants him to spend the weekend in jail. They said, they said that it's only on Monday that his bail application will be heard. So I'm not having any sympathy for him. Let him face the music if indeed all these things can be proven and established against him. But like I said, this is the Nigerian system. I guess somebody just needs to put him away for a while. So I think
if he's right, if he's wrong, if he did well, if he did not do well, we will know. Now, this one is saying no Christian Muslim genocide in Nigeria. That is according to President Tinubu.
Yes. I don't. It is like he's saying there is no genocide at all and there are no killings at all.
No, he is agreeing that there are security challenges in Nigeria.
There is mass killings.
Not that, you know what President Donald Trump said, that killings were being targeted at Christians.
That no particular religion is being targeted.
Yes, I think that is what he's trying to say here. And well, he was represented by Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, at an event, and the president said that what the country had was terrorism driven by criminality and extremism, and he said the federal government was working to overcome the security challenges. Yes, that was just the overview of what.
Even I don't agree with the extremism side. It's criminality, pure and simple. All these terrorist groups, they have no clear ideology. Boko Haram has no ideology.
Yes.
They claim that their ideology is the fact that they do not want Western education. That Western education is sinful.
That was the claim then
of Boko Haram. But if you see their mode of operations, you kill Muslims, you kill Christians, and the same products of Western education that you say is sinful are the things you use. You use drones, use computers, use laptops, use vehicles, guns, all the products of Western education.
Yes.
So they should be using swords and camels.
Yes.
So,
now there's this warning here. Now we might just wave it aside. The government might wave it aside, but it is a warning. One humanitarian organization, well, I think equipping the persecuted has raised the alarm over what is described as a plot to kill many people in some northern communities on Christmas Day. But presidency, in a swift reaction, questioned the motive of the group, saying the alert was doubtful and could create unnecessary fear among Nigerians. Now, the founder of the organization, Jude Saul, spoke during a roundtable meeting convened by the International Committee on Nigeria and the African Jewish Alliance. And the meeting, which was held on Wednesday in Washington, D.C., United States, was chaired by former Congressman Frank Wolf.
Well, the Nigerian authorities must know that those who want to establish the facts of a Christian genocide in Nigeria might actually be planning to use Christmas Day and Christmas celebrations as a means of further proving what they want to establish against the Nigerian government. It might not even be the terrorists themselves, so Bimbo. It could be the politicians. So Christmas Day is very significant.
Yes.
Of course, we all know that in Christendom. So that could be the time for them to again make another statement and again use that to establish, like I said, the claims of Christian genocide in Nigeria. So the authorities must look into this. And I guess, well, I have a feeling that there is no smoke without fire.
Yes.
And if there is anything like this, I'm sure the security agency, the DSS, these suspicions must have been communicated and must already be on the table of the president. This is the way it runs. But of course, and rightly so, perhaps the authorities will not want to alarm the Nigerian people. They will not want to alarm Christians. But then what is important is that they do something about it if indeed this is true.
Yes.
Yes, we do not really want to know whether the danger is there or not. But what we want to know is that we can go to our churches safely on Christmas Day. We can worship safely in every part of the country, in every nook and cranny of the country, and there would be no problem. So this is what the government should be doing. This shouldn't be waved aside.
Yes, it should not be waved aside. That was what I was trying to say. You remember, I think it was during the former President Jonathan's administration, when there was a warning. There was warning that Eagle Square would be bombed during Independence Day, October 1. I think they waved it aside. They thought what would happen, and at the end of it, that was the during the agitation of the Niger Delta militants, and it happened. Yes, it happened
very near the Eagle Square.
Yes.
Well, this looks like cheering news, Bimbo. At least we are getting somewhere. Dangote Refinery cuts petrol ex-depot price to 699 naira as festive travel peaks. Now, I don't know if this is going to be permanent or it's just a largesse for Nigerians at Christmas. Well, let's see. Dangote Refinery has again slightly its petrol ex-depot price, reducing the gantry rate by 15.58% from 828 naira to 699 naira per litre, effective Thursday, 11th December 2025. The move marks the refinery's 20th price review this year, underscoring its aggressive pricing strategy as millions of Nigerians prepare for peak Yuletide travel. According to senior officials of the refinery, the latest adjustment is aimed at easing transportation burdens ahead of Christmas and New Year festivities. The company noted that the review aligns with its commitment to make the season memorable for citizens and reduce cost pressures on road transport operators. Reduction comes days after Dangote Group President Alhaji Aliko Dangote met with President Bola Tinubu on 6 December, where he reaffirmed the refinery's resolve to maintain reasonable and competitive fuel prices despite global market volatility and persistent smuggling along Nigeria's borders. Well, until the problems are fully addressed, Bibo, and until Nigerians can permanently buy fuel at a reduced cost, until there is that competition where I can turn to the filling station that offers me the cheapest rates, until that happens. But of course, certain elements and forces are fighting back in the road to achieving this. And Dangote himself mentioned some of those encumbrances, which is a persistent smuggling along Nigeria's borders, alongside other corrupt practices and sleaze in high places. The cabal has been fighting back, and is still fighting back. So I guess all this will still have to be addressed when Nigerians can actually breathe that sigh of relief. And well, have you? I know you've parked your car for a while, and because of this challenge of fuel. So I don't know. Myself, I've not seen any change. Well, it's just Thursday that Dangote reduced that. Well, of course, Dangote is not the only operator in the market, but I have not seen any relief.
Yes.
Talking about transportation fares.
Fares, yes.
So I don't know, but maybe as time goes on, maybe that relief will come. But
yes.
for now,
I can say that there will not be any relief. Talking about transportation fares, that means decrease in fares, because I once accosted or twice accosted a tricycle operator and a bike operator, and you know what he said? What they said? They said, why are the prices of spare parts of those vehicles, yes, those vehicles, not coming down? That means if they are not coming down, that means the prices of fares of commercial vehicles will remain the same or will be going up. That is what they are saying. You know, people will be agitated that petrol has come down. Why is prices of transportation not coming down? That is what they will tell you. That prices of spare parts of those vehicles are not, those commercial vehicles are not coming down. They are going higher. So what will we do?
And the cost of food also seems to be fluctuating. And well, if it's fluctuating, and that means we are also getting somewhere. That could also mean we are getting somewhere. You can now, I know for a matter of fact that you can now get half a Congo of rice for 1,000 naira. And a Congo is 2,000 naira now. So it used to be much worse. But then, like I said, maybe the patience that the president says we should have, maybe it's going to pay off in the long run. But then that patience is wearing thin. And then something must happen very soon for Nigerians to actually believe Mr. President that and prove Mr. John wrong, that about his doubts regarding the light at the end of the tunnel. I really want this government to prove Mr. John wrong regarding this light at the end of the tunnel, which Mr. John says. Mr. John even says there is no tunnel. You talk less of the light. The light. But I really want Mr. John to be proven wrong. Don't you, Bimbo?
Yes. Now, the man that had been in the news for about 1 week now, talking about
Ujoba.
Yes, Ujoba. Wasiu Ayinde, known as Kwam1. He has lost his grip on the Awujale of Ijebuland stool. Yes, following his rejection by the Fushengbuwa ruling house, whose turn it is to produce the next king. And now the musician, in his letter of intent dated December 3, and the lineage data from the submitted data from the submitted claim to be from the Jadiara royal family, a unit of the Fushengbuwa ruling house. The Jadiara royal family disowned him, stating that he had no connection with them. Well, what I'm saying here is that maybe, well, he might be from that unit of the ruling house, but maybe he abandoned them. That is why they are disowning him.
Well, you know, I believe you saw this movie, Oluyole. The revered icon Karim, theater icon Karim Adekoju. At some point when they wanted to unseat the king, and they now went to bring someone that claimed that it was his family that is supposed to be on the throne, and they went to create a particular character from long ago. They called him Baba Ologba. So they said that Baba Ologba that sold a particular piece of land and blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, when Baba Wade appeared in court and then they got back home, his family members, I think Iya Oshogbo now, another revered theater icon, was asking that, hey, was it Baba Ologba? Baba Ologba Tebi Omo. And also, I think Wasiu Ayinde is trying to create a Baba Ologba story here in Ijebu, and the Fushengbuwa rulers would have none of that.
Yes.
Baba Ologba. Let's have this commercial break and we'll be back.
State Golden Jubilee. Now, it's good 50 years since the creation of Oyo State, 1976 to 2026. Such great strides and monumental achievements, expansive economic development that has confirmed Oyo State as a pace setter indeed, infrastructural revolution, socio-cultural transformation, reinforced security and enduring peace, harmonious religious cooperation and collaboration, health, educational and agricultural reforms that has brought life more abundant to all citizens, beneficial and responsible governance in a new political agenda, first of its kind. We have reasons to celebrate. Let's give great kudos to our visionary and dynamic governor, Engineer Oluyole, FNSE, for the renewal of Oyo State, making us proud even at 50. Further details of events in the Oyo State Golden Jubilee program shall be announced later. This announcement comes from the chairman, Oyo State Golden Jubilee Committee, Honorable Said Akande-Fijabi, and members. Rejoice, Engineer Oluyole, the Golden Governor, and all good people of Oyo State, as we celebrate this Golden Jubilee of Oyo State, the pace setter state.
Charity ẹni fẹ́ ṣàríyá o, gbogbo ẹni fẹ́ ṣàjọ̀dún, àbẹ́ni fẹ́ ṣèpàdé o, gbogbo ẹni fẹ́ ṣènáwó. BCOS event grand, òun yẹn máa bọ̀. BCOS event grand, òun ló kájọ ẹ̀ fún gbogbo ayẹyẹ. Èyí tẹ́yìn bá fẹ́ ṣe, BCOS event grand, òun yẹn máa bọ̀ o. Bóyá wá gbé mi débẹ̀ yóò, ilé akéde. Bóyá wá gbé mi débẹ̀ yóò, BCOS event grand. BCOS event grand, níbi tílẹ̀ ti tẹ́jú, àyè ìgbọ́kọ̀sí ń bẹ, ìyẹn pọ̀ jaburata. BCOS event grand, ìyẹn nílé akéde, oríta Báṣọ̀run, nílùú Ìbàdàn. BCOS event grand, òun yẹn máa bọ̀ o. Ohun tá à ń sọ ni pé fónírúurú ayẹyẹ tẹ́yìn bá fẹ́ ṣe, ó ti wù kó fẹjú tó. BCOS event grand, òun ló kájú ẹ̀, òun ló káàtó. Ṣókùn àgbà lẹ́yìn fẹ́ ṣe ni, tàbí ìgbéyàwó, tàbí birthday, tàbí open year crusade. Wọ́n sì jẹ́ book launch ní tiyín ni. Ẹ máa bọ̀. Ẹ̀yẹ sá ti kàn sí wa ní yàrá kẹrin commercial department BCOS ilé akéde. Tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè sórí BCOS customer care line tololong 0915-870-3300. BCOS event grant ilé àríyá fáwọn tó mọ bó ṣe ń lọ.
All right, we are back, and it's good to know you are still there. A little point of correction here. The one that movie Oluyole, the one who tried to usurp the throne and lay illegal claim to ancestral land, was the character that was created was Baba Eleji. Yes. So Mr. Wasiu Ayinde is trying to create a Baba Eleji in the struggle for the throne of Ijebu-Odi. All right, let's have this. Let's see this one here. Makinde Sedeke Dixon Mon Date Bayelsa Deputy Governor. An update on Miriam Sanda, the one accused of culpable homicide, accused of killing her husband, who was sentenced to death, was at the point in time, placed on the presidential pardon list, and then was withdrawn again, and then our case went to the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court has affirmed our death sentence despite presidential pardon. Well, they said her name has been withdrawn from the list of those to be pardoned. The Supreme Court on Friday affirmed the death sentence handed down to Miriam Sanda, the daughter-in-law of a former chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), for killing her husband Biliaminu Bello during a domestic dispute. Now, Miriam Sanda was sentenced to death by hanging in 2020, and after staying at the Suleja Correctional Center in Niger State for 6 years and 8 months, President Bola Tinubu reduced her sentence to 12 years imprisonment on compassionate grounds. She had her sentence reduced. But in a judgment on Friday, the Supreme Court, in a split judgment of 4-1, well, the reduction of her sentence that happened when she was after she was removed from the presidential pardon list. Was sentenced to 12 years on compassionate grounds. Now, in the judgment on Friday, the Supreme Court, in a split judgment of 4-1, affirmed the death sentence handed down to her by the Court of Appeal Abuja, which upheld the judgment of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT), which sentenced her to death by hanging. Now, the Apex Court held that the prosecution established her guilt beyond a reasonable doubt and resolved all the issues raised in the appeal she filed against her and dismissed the appeal for lack of merit. Justice Moore Ademohin had in the lead judgment, which he personally delivered, that the prosecution proved the case beyond reasonable doubt as required by law, and that the Court of Appeal was right to have affirmed the judgment of the trial court. Now, but while I was wondering, does the president not have that right to exercise a prerogative of mercy? And even if she's going to be removed from the pardon list, the sentence to 12 years imprisonment on compassionate grounds, I was asking, but doesn't the president have those powers? But here what the Apex Court says, Justice Moore held that it was wrong for the executive to seek to exercise his power of pardon over a case of culpable homicide, in respect of which an appeal was pending. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, that is Fagbemi SAN, had explained that our inclusion in the recent presidential pardon was based on compassionate grounds and in the best interest of our children. Now, Fagbemi had listed some of the qualities that earn that clemency, to include good conduct, embrace a new lifestyle, and a model to prisoners, and remorsefulness.
I think well, I think that point, because of our children, our children.
Oh, there are so many others too that are in that position, and
yes.
they also have children. I guess it's because of the son of who she murdered, and that's why we have all this controversy. And then the father or the deceased also said that he was actually the one that pleaded with Mr. President to grant her pardon, that after all his son is dead, and killing her would not bring him back. But then this is the law. The law is the law. And
yes.
Well, I don't know what to say regarding this particular matter. Maybe we'll leave our callers to do justice to that.
Yes, she is. Of course, she is guilty of that offense. And well, it was the father of the deceased that said that pleaded on her behalf, so that she can be given presidential pardon. And well, it was given by the Supreme Court now. Is it the Court of Appeal? The Supreme Court is now, insisting on that particular judgment.
And well, there is a wife here from the Book of Matrimonial Oddity, so who, if she doesn't exercise caution and restraint, might soon find herself in Miriam Sanders' shoes. My wife chased me with cutlass every time we fought, says husband. Well, I think they are separated now. Maybe the husband is out of harm's way, and so they've gone to court, and then the wife is saying, I want him to give our children 70,000 naira per month for food. What's the minimum wage approved by the federal government?
70,000.
70,000. So if indeed he happens to be a low income earner in the federal government, the lowest income earner among the lowest income earners in the federal civil service, for instance, that means he would have to give virtually all the salary to the wife. For housekeeping, we'll have to give everything to the wife.
We'll give them
food.
We'll give them 70,000, but the allowances, maybe some meager allowances, that is what he would have to hold on to.
Okay, I'm trying to look at the story now. So, Grade 8 Customary Court 2, sitting at Moko, Ibadan, Oyo State, has given judgment on the divorce suit brought before it by a man, Hakim, against his wife, Idayat, whom are accused of being aggressive, disrespectful to his family, from family members, friends, and neighbors. And he explained that she always refused his first wife and her children entrance into his apartment, and would fight them if they insisted on having their way. The man has more than one wife. And then, well, it goes on and on, Bimbo. And what the man is more worried about, more than anything else, is more worried about the cutlass parts.
Yes.
Chasing him with that probably why he went to court. He doesn't want to die. There's another one. It says, my husband sent talks to beat me, destroy my wares. Woman tells court as in a rage of jealousy on the part of the husband. And they say the husband is responsible, a drunk and a gambler, and the habit of threatening her life. And it doesn't that the husband was in court to defend himself. Marry me off to my old lover, divorcee begs court. So you can see the reason for the estrangement with her husband in the first place. Her heart is still where it is with her old lover.
Yes.
And this one says, my ex-husband can have her children. I've met a handsome man I want to marry. And the other one says, I'm not aware of a new relationship. That happened in Kaduna. And then, I no longer love my husband. I'm ready to return his 40,000 bride price, says wife. That happened in just Plateau State. And then 40,000, no, I get it.
40,000.
The bride price. But then, of course, you don't want to sell your daughter. So, well, she's not for sale. So, 40,000 just a token as a bride price.
At least at this time. Now, before we open the phone lines, this one says, talking about the withdrawal of police escorts from very important personalities and other politicians. Now, following the President Bola Tinubu's withdrawal of police escorts from VIPs, some officers of the Department of State Services have started lobbying influential Nigerians to take them on as personal security details. Yes, this is according to the Punch. And President Tinubu had on, yes, if you can recall, on November 24, ordered the withdrawal of all police officers attached to VIPs and politicians as part of an aggressive push against escalating nationwide threats, including kidnapping spikes in Kwara, Kebbi, Niger, and other parts of the north.
Well, let's open the phone lines, and it's your turn to welcome your contributions on the program this morning. Our first caller is here. Oh, we lost that.
08055009850 or 07055551985.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning, Mr. John.
Just calling from Oluyole.
Good to have you, sir.
It looks awkward to me when a governor will say, I will deliver my state to a certain party. Is he saying that he's going to rig? Is he saying that he's going to rig? Because a governor that knows that there will be vote, people will vote. So what gives you that audacity to say you will deliver your state for your party or for the president? People are going to vote, and I'm very sure if most of the politicians put their hands together and put their party together, some governor who declare to APC will even lose their seat to an unknown party, because people, the awareness is there, like if people rightly said, people don't vote for party again. It's about personality. So the issue of Subara saying that he's going to deliver, I know he doesn't even have the capacity, not that he has the political structure to even do that. But whatever it is, I agree with you that it's just a spoon that is going to be used by Mr. Wike to deliver the state. Let's wait and see. Then lastly, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo, I think it is high time we have the civil society and some journalists anytime the Senate are screening either minister or ambassador, so that if they are told, the senators are so lazy to ask questions, the civil society in that place and the journalists will be able to ask questions. Look at the ambassador that we are screened. They just take a bow and walk away. On such a sensitive position, where you are going out to represent your country, what of if that country where you are deployed summon you for questioning? Will you tell them in my country we used to take a bow and go, so let me take a bow and go? This is unfair. If they don't like they smile every month with over 30 million, yes, they are not doing their job. Let the civil society come into that committee and begin to ask questions. We don't fight this power and go. Enjoy your weekend. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. John. Makinde celebrates your workforce, says dedication has driven state's progress. And this morning we congratulate our own Funke Taiwo Lawi,
yes.
One of the Merit Award winners, most efficient worker award winners. Congratulations, Funke.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, peace of God to you, Tola and Bimbo.
Good morning.
I read that Doris calling from Okeo.
Good to have you, sir.
A former governor who is sumptuously and transparently corrupt, being a committee member that will pick a gubernatorial candidate for his party. O King of Righteousness, please arise in this country, come and prove the verity of your word that says the congregation of the hypocrites shall be desolate. Prove your word that says the triumphing of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Prove your word, O God, in this country that says, for what is the hope of the hypocrite, though they are gained when God takes away his soul? Will God hear us? Will God hear his cry when he comes into trouble and trouble comes upon him? Oh God Almighty, prove your word in this country. Let not the hypocrite reign. Let the people be ensnared. We warned the hypocrites and wicked in power in the past. Some did not, in fact, many did not listen. Eventually, they are biting their fingers in regret now. God, please come and prove the verity of your word. The congregation of the hypocrites shall become desolate. Thank you. Adidado from Okeo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, that qualification of corruption by Babadida this morning never crossed my mind. Sumptuously corrupt. Oh, Baba. All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a little worried.
Hello, Mr.
On the matter. We have done the license. That's the piece for you. Some of the APC. Now about the APC matter again. They still don't know the government in the legislature. All the steps. It's true. Last out, I'm going to say, if you sin, come to APC. We are saying forgive. For me, they are not going to do anything against Nigeria. Just do APC everything, because they are no election. It's not people voting. Up in Anambra. It's one matter. So let's go to election at all. Let us take over everything. Thank you much.
Thank you. Also, 55551985 08055009850. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
I am Ademola from Ibadan.
Good to have you, Mr. Demola.
On corruption, this corruption is the exchange of money for the use of public money. So some people are corrupt and some people are not corrupt. So at times there's a lack of accountability with great. So President, the Indian is alleged of corruption. So you should provide explanation. At times, EFCC recover money. So the money should be used for projects, the welfare of the people, and the judiciary will decide on indicating and on corruption, we expect the clarification on that. So on Dagote is a ministry negotiation between the transporter and Dangote other refineries. So it is important. Correct pricing is critical. It is important. So Dangote other companies should further reduce prices.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dima. 070-5555-1985. Keep the calls coming in. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Alaji Lanka.
Good to have you, Alaji.
I just want to comment briefly on the APC that they take over all states. Is it democratically or by power? But Gandhi said it the other time, he did not live in that office to witness the election. So the national chairman IPC should be very careful. Also, it's no go area. We will not go area. Good morning, sir.
Okay, that's why I said I hope what they mean is that by democratic means through the power of the ballot,
yes.
And not a power that is not served a la carte.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, sir. Mr.
Good morning.
My name is Abdami Fabulum. I speak from interest.
Good to have you, sir.
I accidentally happens to be there. So, as regards to the lady that the sentence that was affirmed by the Supreme Court,
Okay.
it's so sympathetic. But the law is that you cannot commute any sentence while the case or appeal is pending.
Okay.
I think the government was wrongly advised. But it's not just too bad. After the decision of the Supreme Court, then the president can still go ahead. Even they can even give up prerogative of mercy or commute that sentence. So she has that kind of opportunity. Although in the interest of the children and the compassionate ground, I think the president should do that. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much
for that clarification. So it means there could still be hope for the woman. All right, 070-5555-1985. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Good to have you, Prince. It's been a while.
Yeah. What CDP is doing and experiencing now is as a result of what the party has done in the past. If you remember, when ex-president Obasanjo was in power, when he wanted to contest for the second time, he called all the AD governors there. He ordered them, begged them to support him on the second big time. It was only this incumbent president that failed to follow President Obasanjo, and that was the reason why the man won the governorship second time in Lagos State. Look at what is happening now. Obasanjo wanted to turn the NSS to one party system. Yes. See what is happening now. We are gradually, directly or indirectly, going to one party system now. So, àwọn Yorùbá máa ń sọ pé ẹ bá jẹ́ kótó ọ̀tá ẹ má gbẹ̀gbẹ̀ ó ṣe é ṣe kó ní àyàn náà ní ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ láti gbóbi àtiwọ̀ láti láti ṣe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, been an interesting time on conversation. Well, today and all through this week, and we'll be back Monday morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akambi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your weekend.
àwí akéde ìkìlọ̀ akéde ìṣúná akéde òwò akéde àṣà akéde ìròyìn akéde ètò akéde Ìbàdàn àwọn akéde nígbà wá.